I was asking Spirit, like, what should the collective be grateful for? And the first card that came out was Ten of Swords. Everything is fine. And I feel like Spirit is saying that be grateful that you're no longer in this state of pain. I feel like Spirit is saying be grateful that the things that have collapsed, whether it was old relationships, old stories that you were telling yourself, maybe mindsets as well too that you were stuck in, toxic relationships, self-sabotaging behaviors. I feel like Spirit is like be grateful that like that chapter that you faced it, because I feel like I'm speaking to people or at the very end of facing it. I feel like Spirit is like be grateful that you're no longer in this like false reality, that you see things for what it is, that you took accountability for your role in the situation, that you started to see how other people were treating you, how people weren't pouring into you, how you were getting caught up in distractions and you weren't facing the pain. I think that's where Spirit is like, be grateful that you no longer are avoiding the pain and that you started facing the pain and you started to process that pain. You started to process feeling left out in the cold. For some of you guys, maybe feeling rejected or abandoned, or maybe just feeling like, geez, I can't catch a break. Maybe for some of you guys, also feeling not your mental health not being in the best, or maybe your physical health, or both not being in the best. Maybe being in a financial crisis as well too. Spirit is like, be grateful that you never gave up hope on yourself and on the divine of shit. Maybe sometimes you did. Maybe sometimes you did, but you got back up onto believing in yourself and believing that things would change. You never fully gave up hope on yourself, no matter how much you were down, no matter how much people try to keep you down, or maybe certain life circumstances made you felt like you were being kept down. You didn't stay down. I feel like Spirit is like, be grateful that you're no longer in those toxic connections or relationships because you finally released yourself. That's what it is. Be grateful that you release yourself from the pain and the toxicity and just all the darkness, or that you are on this process of releasing yourself because you opened yourself up to reuniting with your higher self. You opened yourself up to more peace, more stability, like I said, to healthier and harmonious connections and relationships, whether that be romantic or platonic. You gave room for yourself to one, to heal, but to also allow healthier individuals into your life. And be also grateful that you have that discernment as well too, that you have walked away from people who weren't serving you, who were trying to compete, who were trying to be petty, who were trying to one up you or win at all costs. Like, nobody got time for that. Be grateful